everybody. Here to make his light and airy and delicious and delectable banana souffle with a fresh berry sauce is Chef Daniel Green.
Welcome back.
Love you, Chef. Welcome back. So nice to have you. So this is one of your favorite desserts with quite a history.
It is a history. It goes back to 18th century France when the souffle was first invented, and the translation is to blow up, to puff up. So,
And that's what it does.
Let's hope. Let's hope that we can get the translation that way.
We're making this live, and anyone who knows about baking, souffles are really persnickety.
They can be. I mean, I've hopefully simplified it, and I've also made it very low fat, which isn't normal for souffle.
No, but that's your whole
It is.
vibe.
It's my thing, and also made it paleo as well, because this is so that's why it's one of my favorites, because I really always try and create dishes that are a lower fat, lower carb version. Yes, we've got carbohydrates in the banana, but that's it. So we've got banana.
Okay, so what do we do first?
Okay, so all we do is we mash up the banana.
Just like that.
And you want
Now,
to
do
get them nice and ripe.
Really, really ripe bananas or somewhere in between?
As long as you can push them enough to touch, is going to be okay. So what we do is we mash those up, and this is going to be what thickens it rather than a traditional, which is flour.
Oh, right.
So the souffle started in 18th century France. I think it moved to Britain about 100 years later.
Right.
Of course, the Brits did it better. I don't think.
The Brits turned it into bread pudding.
Exactly,
They said,
exactly.
my souffle's falling. So what? We'll make a bread pudding. Tastes
So,
just as good.
a little bit of flavor, which is some vanilla essence.
The vanilla paste, by the way.
Paste.
Or the
Here you
essence.
go.
That's it. That's good.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Vanilla paste?
And then this is the key. So we're not using sugar, we're using a maple syrup.
Oh.
Now, I did find this out because I've written 2 books on paleo.
Yes.
And what I did research on that is not all maple syrup is the same.
No.
So you can have the fake maple syrup, which is made with sugar, cornstarch, and everything else in it, or the pure. So if you spend, and the way to look is just kind of look at the price. The more you pay, the better you get.
And it'll say 100%.
100%.
Maple
100%,
syrup.
yeah, okay.
And there's such a difference in taste.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
tell one tastes synthetic.
You know, and especially if you're using a little bit in cooking, I use it even on chicken or salmon for sweetening instead of brown sugar.
Do you know a lot of, the souffles are here.
The souffles are here. The souffles are here.
Now I've got some egg yolk.
There
So,
you go.
of course, there's a little bit of fat in there. You can reduce it a little if you want.
Okay.
And I'm going to whisk this in here, and we're going to get all of these flavors together before we add the egg white. So, the key of making a souffle is you have to have the egg whites as really soft peaks, as thick as you can get them.
Okay.
If any egg yolk goes in that, it's
over.
It's over. But it can go the other way. You can have a bit of white in the egg yolk, but you can't do it the other way.
Okay. You know, we were talking about during the commercial break that I was saying, Daniel, you're amazing that you can make this. He said he has a bit of a gift for it because friends of mine who have gone to pastry school, the last thing that they make them do in pastry school as their exam is a souffle because it's generally pretty difficult, but not for Daniel.
Well, give me a couple, but please tell me that in a couple of minutes.
Right.
So,
It's going to work.
I hope you're as confident as I am. No, the thing is, the other thing with a souffle is you want to serve it as soon as it's ready. Out
Right.
the oven
Nice
to your
and warm.
guests. Because
Yeah.
it does deflate a little bit. But you know what? It will impress your guests, I promise you.
Right, it does. So don't be alarmed if when you take it out, because that's another thing I think people feel that they've failed when they take it out. It's going to deflate a little already.
Exactly. It's going to
Okay.
go about 20% down, a little bit, but then if you leave it for a lot longer, it will really go down.
Okay.
So this is getting the egg whites really to a peak, soft peak, so you can really get them nice and firm, and that's what's going to rise up in the oven and get it all of that, that lift.
So is this what gives it the light airiness?
Absolutely.
So you want to keep some air in there.
So then the next trick is, if you don't mind just opening that up for me, this is where we get a little bit more tricky.
Okay.
Is we want to gradually incorporate this. If I whisk this in, I'm going to knock all of that hard work out of the air.
So you want me to take this out?
And I do believe in 18th century France, they didn't have one of those.
No, they were doing this with their hand. Can you imagine the biceps?
You can. Yes, I don't do that, of course.
So you go really light.
You kind of fold it in. Actually, that's what you have there, silicone.
use that one?
Spatula's great.
That'll be
and
better.
you do, the best thing is to do half at a time.
Like this?
Like that.
And you want me to put the rest in while you do
Or
that?
we can go the other way.
Oh,
Right
there you go.
So then
Beautiful.
we get that in, and you kind of fold it in. So always remember, whenever you're using egg whites, kind of fold it in like this.
Fluffy, like clouds.
Yeah. Otherwise, you knock all the air out.
Right, and whisper when you do it.
Yeah, because if you
I
talk
never
loud,
do
it
that.
deflates.
Yeah, it could.
But you know, it's very hard trying to find paleo desserts. It really
It
is.
really is.
That's
I'm
certainly
impressed
not
that you learned how to do that.
high in fat. And then you
Okay.
don't need to even oil these.
So that's it, just like that, into the ramekin.
Because you're going to eat it straight out there. Look how fluffy that is. Isn't that gorgeous? And put in as much as you can. Put in like that. Can I take the other one too?
Oh my goodness, yes.
What's made
yes.
Daniel? What's made the souffle so elevated as far as like you know, the
Fancy.
fancy, right? Like, is it the difficulty?
Do you know why? Because you have to do it per order. You have to really do
Yeah.
it. You can't do it for a huge gathering of 1,000 people, 500 people.
Because
So
they
you
always
don't-
tell you ahead of time,
Exactly.
Yeah.
are you going to have a dessert if you have the
Right,
souffle?
you have to tell us now if you're having this souffle because they need to know. What is it, 12 minutes?
This it depends the size of what dish you're using.
Okay.
This is exactly 12 minutes. if
And
you're
at what
using this
temperature?
size. I would put it exactly at 400 degrees.
Okay.
But do not put it in the oven unless the oven is really at 400 degrees.
All
Because
right.
that's going to completely change the recipe.
Okay.
So.
And also, one of the reasons it's so ho-ho is because the French invented it. Everything the French invented is ho-ho-ho.
So let's put
Okay, here we
this
go.
one in. You ready?
Here we go.
We're going to throw that one in. And we're going to take these out. And there we have.
Wow.
They are
Souffle.
perfect. That is perfect. Oh, but as you can see, they're going to start to deflate.
They are
Look
going
how
to
beautiful that
But
is.
it's all fluffy on the inside. And then there's one other thing.
Your
a little
raspberry
little
compote.
berry. This is just berries with some maple syrup again, a little bit of water, and boiled down, so you get a little bit of flavour
I
in
like
there.
how sour they are with how sweet
Yeah.
the dessert
Nice
is. Yes.
tart punch.
Yeah.
So really,
Really
it's
good.
very. There's just a little bit of sweetness from the
Yeah.
maple syrup
Not that
and the
sweet.
banana. No, not too sweet. So it's kind of.
Does your
light.
family love this?
Yeah, my little 5-year-old. She was trying this out with me the other day.
What did she think?
She loved it. Well, she likes licking the bowl.
Is she in the kitchen cooking with you a lot now?
You know, she does, but her concentration span is like next to nothing. So it lasts like 5 minutes. She doesn't wait for anything to come out, not even 12 minutes. And the older one
delicious.
lost interest many years
Isn't that
ago.
great?
The older one is interested now in cars and boys.
Is it just
All
me,
right.
or does this sort of leave you with an empty feeling?
Yes. Wow.
But
It's so good.
and put any kind of fruits in. You can do passion fruits, beautiful. Lots of different things you can do. But
This
it's a
is
nice
amazing.
Thing.
Isn't that
It's
great?
really airy and light, isn't it? Mwah.
Daniel.
Yes,
You're
it
a
is.
magician.
So good. Full recipes available by dropping by hallmarkchannel.com. You can either go through Britain to get there or stay here. Doesn't matter.